Alright, it is 10:55 on Tuesday, November 24th. Not sure what day it is. 170 something, I think. Doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, so it's been a while since I filmed, but yeah, it's been a while. So, yeah, so I need to talk about from Hot Springs to here. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah. The day we left Hot Springs, we were, a little slow, but we got on trail like 10:20, 10:15-ish, somewhere around there, but a little slow and had a shorter day. Yeah. You know, nothing crazy. Yeah. Yeah. We camped at the, summit of whatever mountain we climbed up, but yeah, it was nice. Big uphill, but it was nice. And then, yeah. So the next day was pretty nice. Pretty warm, you know. Nothing crazy or anything. Just kind of, moving along, I guess, yeah. So then, that day we went over Max Patch, which is this pretty big, like, bald, like, just grassy field at the top of a mountain. And, yeah, it's okay. It's very overrun by day hikers because it's so easily accessible, and, yeah. Gets kind of trashed. Like, sometimes nice places shouldn't be easily accessible, because when they are, they get trashed by people who don't care. So, yep, and then we camped a little bit past that night. Didn't camp at a shelter because the closest shelter has bear problems, and so we chose not to. Didn't want any bear problems, so we yeah, and then got rained on that night, but yeah, it was rain, not snow, and so we'll take it, like, so. And then it also got pretty cold that night. Like, we woke up and we got to a place where there was, like, we got up a little bit in elevation and there was frost in the trees, but didn't get snow, didn't wake up with snow. We woke up and everything was wet, not frozen, so. Then last night we were at the Standing Bear Farm, which is a hostel. Yeah. So, I'm currently in a Davenport Gap, I believe it's called, at the edge of the Great Smoky Mountains. So, yeah. Should be good. Alright. Alright, it is 3 o'clock on Wednesday, November 25th, Thanksgiving Eve. Today was an interesting day. So I'm going to start with yesterday, so I filmed yesterday, but, after I did, the day got worse. Like, so we stopped about maybe a third of the way up, maybe a quarter, of a monster monster incline. So it was about 6.5 miles long, which is a really long hill. So 6.5 miles long, and then we climbed about 4,000 feet, which is it's a lot of feet. It's a lot, and then we had additional just like stuff past that, and so that was, not great. And so we stayed at so I forgot the name of the shelter, but yeah. So we're in the Smokies, and they have nice big shelters that all have fireplaces, and that one was nice because it had a big old tarp to cover the hole in the fourth wall in the shelter, so like the wind wouldn't blow in and that kind of stuff. And so yeah. And so we've done about 13 miles today. Plus, so Smokies are weird because not all of the shelters are directly on the trail. and they're not spaced well. Like, I am convinced that whoever laid out the Appalachian Trail through here only considered people hiking north. Because if they considered that people would hike south, they wouldn't have a 6.5 mile, 4,000 foot hill. Because for most people, most AT hikers, it's, oh, I'm just going to climb down for 6 miles. And it's not that big a deal, but it really took it out of us yesterday. So today was pretty interesting. We had the shelter to ourselves last night. Looks like we have to share it tonight, but anyway, yeah, we did, like, I did 7.7 miles before lunch, which is a lot for us, but we had the wind howling this morning. Just absolutely howling. Like, when we went to bed, it wasn't bad. Then it really wasn't bad overnight. It picked up in the early morning, and just all morning today, it was going at it. And so that was really great motivation, because when you're cold, you don't want to stop. And, you know, you just want to keep moving, keep pushing. So it was good motivation, helped us walk fast, but yeah, other than that, it was not great. So then this afternoon was fairly easy, 5 miles, but tomorrow, Thanksgiving, is looking like it's going to be a rough day. So it looks like we're going to be doing about 16 miles, because the shelters here, the shelter we're staying at, and the shelter that's spaced, you know, is the distance we want to go. They're both about half mile off the trail. So, which is not what we wanted to hear. So, half mile is a lot, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and have a fire tonight, see how that goes, and yeah. Okay, it is 3:45 on November 26th, Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, I feel like I said this a lot, but today was interesting. So, like, this morning, we woke up, got out of camp fairly early. I was on the road at like 7:45. Mike was a few minutes behind me, but yeah. And then we started going, and then, like, first 5, 6-ish miles today, like, until like 10:15, 10:30, were pretty quiet, just me. Then all of a sudden, I see people. And then there's more people. And then there's more and more and more. And they just start coming out of the woodwork. It was crazy. There was just so many people. And it's just, they kept coming and coming. And it was insane. I probably passed 100 people on trail today. Like, it was just crazy. Then I got to our lunch spot at a shelter. I sat down, ate lunch, and I got the usual, "Oh, are you hiking the AT? Oh, how long have you been out?" kind of questions. And there was a family that, you know, conversed with me, kept asking questions. They were pretty interested. And yeah, and then Mike was like an hour and 10, hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes behind me. So I had a long wait there, but, you know, it was all right in the end, you know. But, you know, after that, we got up, we got going, and we just flew down the hill. Like, I was going 3 miles an hour and just going fast. And then we got to Newfound Gap, and that was a circus. Like, it was unbelievable to me, the number of people who were hiking on Thanksgiving Day. Like, it was an absolute circus there. Like, it blew me away. It was just, like, the parking lot was full. There was just people everywhere, and there was kids running around. It was crazy. And so, yeah, it was just insane. And so, like, I didn't think Thanksgiving was a holiday that people went out hiking on, but I guess it is. And so, yeah, so we had that. I enjoyed the circus. And then so after that, I crossed Newfound Gap, and there's this dude like comes running up behind me. Is like, hey, it's like, hey, can I talk to you? I'm like, sure. And so we talked for a minute or two, and he's like, hey, can I hike with you? And yeah, so we talked about things, and he asked about the trail, and I think I've convinced him to do it, but like he was a super cool guy. We just hiked together for a while, and so yeah, like we hiked together for a while, and we and just talked, and he was able to get me moving super fast, like over like 2.5 miles an hour in that range. And so I got here a lot earlier than I thought I would. Like, it is not even 4 o'clock yet. There was points today when I didn't think I was going to be here till 5:30. Like, we've done 16 feet today, not 6,000, 16 miles. 16 miles, like, I believe around 5,000 feet of climbing, but yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty good. So, yeah, and I'm going to have another long wait for Mike, but I don't really mind because, I just get to sit and chill. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright, it's about noon on Saturday, November 28th. Yeah. I've already done about 9 miles today. So, we're moving pretty fast, but so yesterday, I'm going to start with yesterday because that's just how I do it. But yesterday, did about 13 miles. We went from, went from one shelter to the other, forget their names. We went from, the one we stayed at last night was Derek's Knob, I think. But we went over Klingman's Dome yesterday, and yeah, we've been having okay weather. Yeah, it's been okay. So that night, yeah. So 2 nights ago, it got pretty cold. And then last night, it didn't get cold nearly as fast, but it did get pretty chilly. But yeah, so yesterday was an alright day. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. We've got 16 days left. We're kind of counting down the days, and yeah. We're getting close to being ready to be done. So, because we've been out here a long time, but we are so close to being done, and that's very exciting for us. But so, weather today is okay. It's very sunny, not a cloud in the sky, but it's okay temperature wise. But last night we got some surprise rain. Like, we woke up in the middle of the night and we just heard rain on the roof of the shelter, and we're very surprised. So, yeah. I don't know. And today we're doing maybe 3 more miles. We'll see. Because, so Mike's dad, Mr. Auld, used to be in the Air Force. And someone who he was acquainted with in the Air Force lives out in this area, and so he's hiking up here and bringing us a resupply box and bringing us a resupply box, and so that is a very big help to us, and should make things much easier. Should make things easier for us going forward. Yeah, and then on Monday we're supposed to get snow, which is not a not a good thing. So we'll we'll see how that turns out, but hopefully, hopefully we can avoid the worst of that. All right, it is November 30th, about 9:15, and it is snowing. It's not sticking just yet, but you know, I'm being welcomed to December by the weather. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't start to stick, but we'll see. All right, it is now 9:50, and it is starting to feel pretty wintry. Ugh. Trail is still fairly clear of snow, but everything else is getting white. It's I've climbed maybe a few hundred feet, so it's a bit colder, but man, it is. Oh boy. Yeah. We'll see how this progresses. I will have more updates. Alright, so it is now 11:20. We're gonna hang out at the shelter for lunch. My beard is developing some ice. Now the snow accumulation where we're sitting right now is not much. It's like a dusting here. But further up the mountain, like we're at 29,000 feet? No, 2,900. Ugh.
29,000 feet. We'd be in a whole different load of trouble, I'll tell you that.
2,900 feet. And further up the mountain, there was, what would you say, like quarter to half an inch maybe?
I would say a quarter inch. It's enough where I would consider it like the main like color palette of the entire environment was white.
Yeah.
Like, it was, you know, all the Christmas Eve Winter Wonderland songs. That's what they talk about.
Yeah, and there was like clear I could see his footprints pretty clearly in a lot of places, and so. But so yeah, it's still snowing. I think I can see snow on the ground, but I can also see a puddle right now. So
the snow isn't sticking to the ground right now, not actively.
Yeah.
At least.
So we're wet, we're cold, but we're happy. So that's all for now. All right, it is 1 o'clock. You can see what way the wind's blowing because half my face is covered in snow. But yeah, it's so I'm at about 3,800 feet roughly, about 1,000 feet higher than I was at lunch, and we're getting close to an inch now. We're maybe at between I'd say half and 3/4, but it's still coming down, so it's going to keep accumulating, but it is very wintry right now. So, yeah. Oh boy. My feet are cold, my feet are wet. Ugh, can't wait to get inside tonight. Ugh.